Money in the Bank has concluded, and we are on our way to SummerSlam. There's a lot that happened tonight, man. A lot that happened tonight. If you listened to me last night, I told you everything that was going to happen tonight. Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank contract, cashed it in, and had his dreams shattered for a third time thanks to CM Punk. John Cena. Surprise appearance from John Cena tonight at Money in the Bank. He had a very important message to the WWE Universe, to wrestling fans all over the world. John Cena is retiring from active in-ring competition at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Who is John Cena's last match going to be? I will give you the answer to that elusive question. And no, it's not Randy Orton. And Solo Sikoa, he pins the World Heavyweight Champion. He pins Cody Rhodes. And your SummerSlam main event is all but confirmed. Ladies and gentlemen, it was another hot one in New York City. I need a cold beverage. Stat. Old-fashioned. 2 cherries, please. Beer garden. And when I get there, I want to know on this Saturday night from Money in the Bank, because we are money here on OTS. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you guys over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Money in the Bank 2024 post show for July 6th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Saturday evening, wherever you may be. And we are getting the party started right away, man. We got My guy David Thiering walks into the beer garden and drops a bomb right on top of the bar, orders drinks for everybody in the beer garden with a $100 super chat. David says, what's up, JD? 2 questions and 1 thought for you coming out of this PLE. Does Seth Rollins figure into the McIntyre-Punk feud now, considering the post-match angle that we saw? And 2, how do you think Cena's last run to WrestleMania 41 plays out? 3, OMG, McIntyre is out for blood. Hashtag OTS for life. David, thank you for the $100 bomb. Thank you for your generosity as always. These are 3 questions that we are going to address in this Money in the Bank review right here on OTS. So you, sir, are always ahead of the game, and we are going to get into all those questions, and I'm going to get right into the top here, man. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view tonight, I thought was a very good show. For everybody in the chat, everybody on social media saying that it was a bad show, it was not good. I don't know what show you watched. I know what show I watched. I was thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoyed myself. If you didn't enjoy yourself, then that's a you fucking problem. And I don't really give a shit. I thought Money in the Bank delivered, and SummerSlam and the stage that is SummerSlam in Cleveland is slowly taking shape. The ladder matches tonight for the men and women were a lot better than previous installments of Money in the Bank. I thought the men's coming in at about 16 minutes or so was good enough to get the job done in the midst of an overly predictable outcome coming in. Everybody wanted to believe that Jey Uso had a shot at winning Money in the Bank. LA Knight had a shot at winning Money in the Bank. How about Chad Gable having a shot at winning Money in the Bank? All solid choices. Chad Gable being my personal dark horse if I was to choose somebody else outside the obvious. Jey Uso is not factoring into any major singles championships right now in the midst of a Bloodline civil war. And Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam. LA Knight is wrestling Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. Andrade, ice cold. Drew McIntyre was the only option in that match. Carmelo Hayes, great talent. Future of the company, not Mr. Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre was the only option. I see a lot of people saying, well, they wasted the Money in the Bank contract this year. It's a dead gimmick. Imagine wasting 12 months of a cash-in on Drew McIntyre to make himself look like a fool again. I don't really see it that way. I don't. That's why they put over Tiffany Stratton in the women's Money in the Bank the way that they did. And she is going to be a great Miss Money in the Bank. You'll get your Money in the Bank fix with Tiffy in the bank. But Drew McIntyre cashing in, as promised, for the World Heavyweight Championship in the match with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. He told you what he was going to do ahead of time. Don't sit there and act all shocked and surprised and, oh my God, how could he do this? He told you he was going to do it. Last week he told you he was going to do it. I don't see what the big hoopla is in regards to Drew McIntyre. He told you he was going to do something. He won the Money in the Bank. He told you he was going to cash in, and that's exactly what he did. Whether or not you think he looks like a fucking idiot, or whether or not you think he didn't realize that CM Punk was in the building, is this what we're going to for excuses now? You're in the midst of an all-timer feud, and you're looking for ways to pick it apart. It's what I don't understand. I read this shit on social media, and normally I'm quick-triggered to reply to all these half-witted, brain-dead fools. But I refrain. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. I really don't. We do what we do here, and we do what we do here better than anybody, man. Told you what was going to happen. Everybody told you what was going. Me and Jason told you what was going to happen on Tuesday night. You're in the midst of an all-time feud, and you're looking for ways to fucking sabotage it and pick it apart and find a problem with it. The Money in the Bank contract is one of the biggest albatross aspects of WWE television. Damian Priest held on to that briefcase since June of last year. He finally ridded himself of the briefcase at WrestleMania in April. It was 280 some odd days. He was Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't need to see anybody holding the briefcase for 280 days. That is not good television to me. You kind of get a sense early on when it's overstayed its welcome, or even if somebody that's won it should cash it in relatively early. You just get a sense of what's going on with that briefcase, who it's on, when it should be cashed in, how long they should hold it. That's been a common problem with previous administrations. Triple H had to come on in and rid his administration of Austin Theory's Money in the Bank contract that Vince McMahon just willingly gave to him with no creative behind it, no rhyme or reason. Which makes you wonder why he gave Austin Theory the briefcase when he had absolutely zero factor into any world championship at the time. I wonder what was going on there. I don't even want to ask questions. Triple H had to come on in and wipe that slate clean, make the fucking kid look like an idiot, cash in on the United States Championship, and get the fucking thing off of him so we can redo it all over again. It's moments like that that makes me glad that he's in charge. He knows what that Money in the Bank contract is. If he doesn't have a plan for it, he is going to get rid of it. Plain and simple. But I don't really understand why people are complaining on social media. Look at the field that was in this match. If Triple H thought that there were other people better suited for this match, they would be in there. If Triple H had somebody in mind that was legitimately going to be the next WWE champion, they'd be in the fucking ladder match. Nobody in this match was walking out the world's heavyweight champion. None of these men right now are in discussion to be a world's heavyweight champion. You could creatively book somebody to be a champion, but that's not the direction that they're going in. So why did Drew McIntyre cash in the briefcase and ruin the aura of the Money in the Bank briefcase? Why did Triple H ruin 365 days of creative and get rid of it in night one? First of all, it's not the only time we've seen the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed in on night one. But there is a plan in place here. Until Triple H figures out how to make the briefcase important again, I don't mind it being used to tell right now what is the best story in all of WWE outside of the Bloodline. So the fact that he used it and had McIntyre cash in to ultimately push the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud over the edge, I don't mind it at all, because there is nobody in this discussion that is going to be a world champion, and you guys need to understand the vision, and I don't understand why you don't get it by now. None of these men were going to be champion, because by the time we end SummerSlam, your world champion for the next fucking year is going to be Gunther, and nobody is going to take the title off of Gunther, no matter who the fucking contract belongs to. Any more questions? So when you sit there and fucking type away and you fucking complain about WWE and what we do creatively in WWE, I mean, I don't think I could spell it out any better for you, man. Shut the fuck up and let the professionals like me take over and tell you what the fucking story is. I didn't do this starting yesterday. Stop the complaining. The briefcase was cashed in and used tonight to tell the greater story. How many fucking times do I have to tell you? We went over this the last time we had this problem arise at Clash of the Castle. Why did McIntyre win the world title in Scotland? Here's the fucking lowdown, geek. He's not supposed to be the world champion right now. WWE announced today, October 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, Bad Blood's coming back. 27 years to the day of the original Bad Blood. You guys remember what happened on that show? I do. I remember watching it live as it happened. I remember calling my grandma up on the phone. Hey, Grandma, can you tape Bad Blood for me? Had the illegal black box. Showed up the next day after school. Excited. Hell in a Cell. Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker. First ever Hell in a Cell. One of the greatest debuts of all time. With the Big Red Machine Kane staring down The Undertaker after ripping the Hell in the Cell door off its hinges. That's what they announced today, conveniently. Why did Drew McIntyre cash in his Money in the Bank contract and come off like an idiot? Why did Drew McIntyre lose at Clash of the Castle? Everything is falling into place, folks. Triple H is taking his chess piece and he's moving it where he needs to move it. McIntyre lost in Scotland. McIntyre advanced to Money in the Bank, won it, cashed it in, failed. Now he's looking at CM Punk at SummerSlam. Match 1. Match 2 will take place Bash in Berlin. And then match 3 will be the deciding factor in the feud. And we enter Hell in a Cell. So when you want to go out there on social media and fucking cry, bitch, moan, and complain, I will gladly sit here on my show and treat every fucking one of you babies like a piece of fucking shit. And I will treat you like the idiots that you are. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Really. It's tiresome. I thought what they did with the briefcase was perfect. Now, the execution of it was not perfect. We'll get into that in a little bit. One of the biggest botches that I've ever seen. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Damian Priest was nailed with a Falcon's arrow from Seth Rollins. Referee counted 1, 2, 3. Should have been 3. Priest did not move a muscle. We will go over what happened there. I thought what they did in that match before that, I thought was really good stuff. Damian Priest, once again, shutting a lot of people up. World Championship material. Damian Priest has proved he is in the last 2 or 3 PLEs. We'll go over that World Championship match. The ladies' Money in the Bank. The biggest car crash of a Money in the Bank ladder match that I think I've ever seen coming from the women. It was sloppy. It was scary. But my God, man, I could not turn away from what they were doing. It was probably, and will go down as probably, the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match that the company's ever done. And we had the right winner. Everybody wanted Chelsea Green. Everybody wanted the hometown hero, the hometown favorite to win. No. No, you can't stop time. You can't stop Tiffy time. And Tiffany Stratton's going to be the new WWE Women's Champion before all is said and done. And Solo Sikoa, the new tribal chief, led to the ring by Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Pins Cody Rhodes does Solo Sikoa. He pins the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Cody Rhodes suffers defeat in your SummerSlam main event is all but confirmed for Cleveland on August 5th. I know a lot of people aren't really excited about a Solo Sikoa Cody Rhodes main event, but you guys got to understand that the reason why Solo Sikoa is getting a championship match is because the next chapter of the Bloodline will be written at SummerSlam, and his name is Roman Reigns. Money in the Bank delivered tonight. It was not the most perfect of WWE shows from an in-ring aspect. There were a couple of miscues, botches galore, but it was a very entertaining show that forwarded the story to get us ready for SummerSlam, and I was thoroughly entertained. Really good stuff coming out of Money in the Bank. We're going to go over the entire show. We're going to go over and break down everything that happened here tonight on the Off the Script official WWE Money in the Bank 2024 post-show. And I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me here on OTS on this Saturday night. Please follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go out and check all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it. I got a whole week of content just waiting for you if you missed anything. So go check that stuff out. We were live on Monday for Raw. We were live on Tuesday. Me and the Solid Monster for Tuesday Night Titans, episode 55. Go check that out. Wednesday, we were live for Wednesday's Dynamite, Jesse and I. The resident Chi-Town Smark. Friday, I was live for a very quickie SmackDown. Nothing happened to get you guys ready for Money in the Bank tonight, which I'm live and in stereo in your living room or on your iPhone or tablet or wherever you may be, live and in living color, man. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this Saturday night. Please hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. We got 2,900 in here. There is absolutely zero excuses why we don't have or can't have 1,000 likes. Hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We will hang out at the end of the show. As always, I love the energy, man. And shout out to my guy David Thiering already for getting the party started with a $100 super chat right before we open the doors to the beer garden. And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys get your free sample on me. Courtesy of the podcast, use that promo code JD at checkout at BlueChew.com. All you have to do is pay the $5 in shipping and handling. I want to thank them for once again sponsoring the show right here on OTS. Jarrell Jordan, what am I drinking? I'm drinking Liquid Death, man. It's the only thing I drink during the shows because if I actually drunk alcohol, I would not be at the top of my game. And then you guys would be forced to watch Sean Ross Sapp and his 1 hour shitty reviews. We're not going to do that. We like to give you a show. We like to entertain you here. Any more questions? Let's get into the review. I'm sure I'll get a fucking DM. Money in the Bank. We start off with the men's Money in the Bank. Jey Uso, Andrade El Idolo, LA Knight, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, and Drew McIntyre. The field of 6 for the men's Money in the Bank. Michael Cole gloated that they had 19,858 people paid to be in the Scotiabank Arena for Money in the Bank. It's 19,858 people that didn't have to watch Marco Stunt show up on AEW Collision while their fan base cries, "Oh man, we are so back!" Yes, because that's exactly what their television needs. Give me a fucking break, man. Nobody let children into the fucking beer garden, okay? It's bad enough we got fucking Denise running around. We don't need Marco Stunt now either. This was a very, very good men's ladder match. Very good. I enjoyed this, even though some people complain that it only went 16 minutes. So we start things off here. Jay came out first, and Andrade, he got little to zero reaction here. LA Knight, he got a big reaction. Gable got some heat. Carmelo Hayes, no reaction. McIntyre, he was met with CM Punk chants. So, a big brawl broke out with everybody. LA Knight and Jey Uso, they were in the ring together, and this was the last thing that we saw on Friday Night SmackDown. The Yeet and Yeah group of WWE fan bases, they're loving this. They squared off. LA Knight turned and dove through the ropes, boots first, to kick Gable in the face. Jay, he dove onto Hayes onto the other side of the ring. Drew McIntyre, he rammed Andrade back first into the ringside barricade. So Drew, the first guy to bring in a ladder, he brings a ladder into the ring. He starts swinging it at Carmelo Hayes, and he turned inside out after a ladder bump from Drew early on. Drew sets up the ladder. He climbs up the ladder. Gable climbed up on the other side to meet Drew on top of the ladder. Gable grabbed Drew's arm and hung upside down through the rungs of the ladder with an arm bar, which was a great-looking spot. I'll get to Gable in a second. Andrade, he jumps off the ropes and delivers a drop or a leg drop. Never mind a drop kick, a leg drop with Gable hanging upside down while he has the armbar on McIntyre. A leg drop from a hanging Gable. Hayes and Andrade then get into it. Fans start chanting, "We want tables, we want tables." We didn't need tables here. We got tables in the women's match. Andrade springboarded off the middle rope and drove Hayes onto the ladder with an inverted Spanish fly, which looked fucking ridiculous. It landed on the ladder back first, with Hayes hitting back first. And Andrade, it didn't fucking look good for him either, man. It just sucks always to do that type of move onto a ladder. And Andrade did it. Fans chanted, "Holy shit, holy shit." Drew and Jay, they square off. Everybody else took a nap on the outside. Fans are once again chanting CM Punk. Jay got the best of Drew here. Gable comes in, and he German suplexed Jey Uso. Gable then starts to fight off Carmelo Hayes and then dropped on a ladder by Jey Uso. LA Knight got the better of Gable here. A leaping neck breaker on a ladder by LA Knight. Hayes, he knocked the ladder over with Jay and Knight battling on top. He then landed a running flip dive onto LA Knight. Hayes, he gets back in there, and he set up a ladder and quickly climbed up. Andrade is back in action. He yanked him down by his foot, and Carmelo's reaching for the briefcase. You know how it is in these ladder matches. They reach very unnaturally. Andrade yanked him down. Andrade climbed the ladder on one side as Hayes reclimbed the ladder on the other side. Andrade bridged another ladder in the ring across the rope and one of the rungs of the current ladder that they were on. He then climbed the other side. Hayes climbed the ladder too. Andrade then sunset flip powerbombed Hayes off the top of the ladder with a shove and help from LA Knight. And he did the infamous sunset flip powerbomb spot on Carmelo Hayes on the ladder. Corey Graves yelled, "Hayes is dead. Hayes is dead," with the fans chanting, "Holy shit, holy shit." And Michael Cole stopped himself from saying, "Holy shit," on commentary. Very good spot. LA Knight climbed the ladder. Gable set up a German suplex on LA Knight. LA Knight fended him off. Gable threw Knight into the ladder and then overhead suplexed him onto a ladder that was bridged at ringside. Now, the ladder that was bridged at ringside was on the commentary table and the ring apron, which is usually a spot that they do. And LA Knight went through that ladder. He got taken out of the match permanently after that. Gable was alone in the ring. Jay pulled the ladder out from underneath Gable as he was hanging from the briefcase. So he was physically hanging from the parchment that was holding the hook that was holding the briefcase. I thought Jay was going to set the fucking ladder up, climb up to the ladder and spear Gable like Adam Copeland did in the very first Money in the... What was a ladder match, I think it was. He did to Jeff Hardy back during the Attitude Era. I remember that like it was fucking yesterday. I thought he was going to spear Gable off the top of the ladder like Adam Copeland did to Jeff Hardy. We didn't get that, though. He let Gable swing around up there for a little bit. Gable couldn't even hang on anymore, and he fell face first onto the mat from the hook that was holding the briefcase. I'm surprised he held on for that long. So he crashed and burned. Jay speared him anyway, set the ladder up, climbed the ladder. Cole, he declared that Jay was going to win the contract. I thought this was it. I legitimately thought that they might give it to Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre was nowhere in sight. The way that they shot this made you believe that Jey Uso was the only soul in this match that had any chance of winning at this point. The way that they shot it, they had such an extreme close-up on Jey Uso, you didn't see anybody else. So when McIntyre emerged back into frame, I'm like, all right, Jey Uso's not winning it. Jey nearly unlatched the briefcase when Drew jabbed him off the ladder with another ladder that he had brought into the ring. And Drew then climbed up, unhooked the briefcase. WrestleMania 17, thank you, Ricky. Drew then climbed up the ladder, unhooked the briefcase, and wins it. He is now Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, I tell you what, this match went 16 minutes, and they did a lot. They fit a lot into this match, a lot of drama into this match. Let's start with McIntyre. He was the predictable winner. I'm not going to go over why McIntyre was the right choice here. I just went into a rant at the top of the program tonight. If you guys don't get it by now, that Drew McIntyre was slotted to win this thing and that McIntyre was slotted to lose Clash of the Castle, if you guys don't get it yet, you are watching a completely different program, and if you're watching the same program I'm watching, you're watching it with a completely different set of eyeballs. You're not watching correctly. You're getting angry for the sake of getting angry, and yet you are basically telling everybody without saying it, you don't understand the story that they're telling. Drew McIntyre was never slated to win Money in the Bank, cash it in successfully, and be the world champion. He was always going to win Money in the Bank and fail as a cash-in. As soon as it happened at the end of Clash, you knew where this was going. No matter if he was in there or not, Punk was always going to fuck him over again. McIntyre was the right winner. For the sake of story, I love it. Carmelo Hayes, he had a great performance. He bumped around like a fucking fish in there, man. He was flopping around. He did what he needed to do. Great showing for him. Shows that WWE can count on him in these types of things. I also look at this in regards to Carmelo Hayes as a test. This was a test. How can he hang with everybody? How is he going to operate and move with everybody that is at a higher level than him? Passed the test, in my honest opinion, with flying colors. That is a future piece of the WWE product for years to come. LA Knight, he looked great in there. Crowd loves him. He was never slated to win this match. He's got Logan Paul staring him in the face at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. There was no interference in this match from Punk, from the Wyatt Six, from Logan Paul. They kept it clean, which I also appreciate. So yes, LA Knight was never slated to win. He was only in there to give the match the excitement that it needed and the star power that it needed. Chad Gable, this was his first ladder match ever, and he was fucking great. You would never think that, watching him move around in there. He looked like a fucking stud in there. And for all the fucking birds out there on social media, Gable is buried. Gable is buried. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. The guy gets 3 to 4 segments regularly on Monday night. He's in the midst of a feud with the Wyatt Six, which is probably the hottest fucking group in WWE right now. And he's going to have a major match at SummerSlam, whether you like it or not. Then he's in Money in the Bank, and he's showing everybody else up First time in a ladder match, and he's in there like he wrestled fucking 15 previous. Gable is a beast. Start showing him the respect that he deserves. He's now buried. Nowhere close. Andrade. I don't know what they're doing with Andrade. I really don't. Andrade is ice cold. I look at this guy. He comes out. He's got a great presentation. He's got the lucha mask. Comes out. Nobody gives a shit. Andrade's in there. He does what he does in the ring in a match like this. And then he gets holy shit chance. But after tonight, I don't think that's going to really follow him into what he does next. So that's the problem. When you put someone like Andrade in this match, you definitely need to follow it up with something for him to do. Right now, he's got nothing to do going into SummerSlam. What is his direction going into SummerSlam? A direction for him going into SummerSlam could be Santos Escobar. They were feuding at one point or another, or Angel Garza was trying to lure him into Legado del Fantasma. That did not work out in Legado's favor. But I feel bad for him. It's almost as if WWE and AEW wants him for whatever reason, but when they actually get him, they don't know what to do with him. Or when they get him, they don't really want to use him in a substantial way. I don't know. Which is very sad. Like I said in the beginning, none of these guys were going to be the World Heavyweight Champion over the next 365 days. So for all the fucking idiots out there who are complaining about Drew McIntyre winning and then cashing in and failing and the briefcase being thrown away and the creative behind it being wasted, you do realize that Gunther is going to win the World Championship. By the time the summer is over, Gunther is going to be the World Champion. And when he is the World Champion, folks, you are not going to see another World Champion at least for a year and a half. Triple H ain't playing no fucking games with the ring general, man. You thought his Intercontinental Championship run was epic. I don't know if his world title run is going to be that long. I don't think we need to have another 700 days as champion. But if there's somebody that's going to do it, and with the equity that Gunther has already built up for himself in WWE, and with Triple H loving him, and the fact that he's only had 3 losses in his entire WWE run, 1 to Sami Zayn, 1 to Bron Breakker, and 1 to Dragunov. 3 losses since he's been in WWE. Do you really expect WWE? Do you really expect Triple H to just have him win the World Championship and then not have a fucking long, epic title run with it? You guys gotta think, man. Stop thinking with your emotions. Drew McIntyre will be the world champion when the time is right. He ain't going anywhere. He just signed a new WWE deal that will probably keep him in the company for the rest of his career. Yet you want instant gratification. I don't know where you people come from, but I'm going to need you to watch the program with a different set of eyeballs. Stop thinking with your emotions. We don't tell stories here half-assed. Not now. The stories that are leading WWE right now are months in the making. Months. They don't do things willy-nilly based off someone's fucking emotion. There's a vision, there's a plan, and they will execute and carry out those plans until the feud is over. Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank. He's the right winner. He said he was going to do it, and he lived up to those promises. The guy basically called his shot on Monday. Don't be surprised when he wins Money in the Bank. No, Jay should have not won Money in the Bank. That's another narrative I see on social media. Jey Uso should not have won Money in the Bank because he's not ready for the world title. Again, Corey McRae in the chat, thinking with his heart and emotion because he wanted Jey Uso to win Money in the Bank. Jey Uso's not slotted to be a world champion. Jey Uso's value will be in the bloodline when Roman returns. That is bigger than a world championship right now for Jey Uso. Sami Zayn. He's held the Intercontinental Championship for 90 days after beating Gunther at WrestleMania in Philadelphia, ending his 666-day title run as IC champion. He went one-on-one with Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker comes out to, once again, new theme music. I don't know why we constantly change theme musics. What was wrong with the other one that he was coming out to? I just tweeted out 3 weeks ago. Sounds AI generated for all I fucking know, Def Rebel. But Bron Breakker's theme music, the last one that we heard, was a low-key banger. In a sea of mediocre themes or terrible themes that Def Rebel create, Bron Breakker comes out, he's got new theme music. Bron Breakker's had a change of theme music 2 different times in the last 2.5 months. Why? Can we get used to something and then just stick with it? Or how about we just fire Def Rebel and bring back somebody that knows how to compose music? Bron Breakker got an Intercontinental Championship match after Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser all butted their nose into his business. So he goes to Adam Pearce. He wants a title match. How can I get to the Intercontinental title if I got all these guys poking their nose in my business? Sami Zayn was within earshot of what was going on and said, you don't got to complain to Adam Pearce. You want a title match? I told you I'd give you one. You want it? How about Money in the Bank? Signed, sealed, and delivered. He got his match. That's how we are here. I said it on Friday. I said it on Tuesday with Jason on episode 55 of TNT. I said it on Monday. I said it last week as well. I don't think giving Bron Breakker the Intercontinental Championship this soon into his run is the right way to go about it. I don't. I honestly feel like giving him the Intercontinental Championship would have been a rush job, and I don't really see him right now needing the Intercontinental Championship. If Bron Breakker beat Sami Zayn, I would not have complained, but I also would have questioned WWE Creative for putting Sami Zayn in the position to beat Gunther, only to then drop it to Bron Breakker 90 days later. Now, if we get this title to SummerSlam and Breakker wins it there, I would be a little bit more okay with it. Because at that point, like I'm predicting, I think we're going to see a multi-man Intercontinental Championship match play out, and Breakker will win the title without actually beating Sami Zayn. I didn't know what to expect here. WWE could have gone either way. Sami could have won fluke victory, leverage pin, flash in the pan, pinfall, or they could have had Sami Zayn suffer defeat, which would have been believable because Bron Breakker's as legit as they come, and he could have won the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn retains the Intercontinental Championship and beats Bron Breakker clean, with social media crying out that Bron Breakker is now buried. Social media is a fucking hellhole. It's nothing more than a landfill of uneducated fucking marks. That's all it is. Bron Breakker came out to his new theme. Sami Zayn got a Canadian-like reaction, as you would expect. People singing his theme song. Bell rings. Two sized each other up. Breakker throws Zayn overhead. Bron Breakker followed that up with a shoulder throw on Sami Zayn. Zayn slapped Bron Breakker in the face after a face-to-face, which then angered Bron Breakker and prompted a shoulder thrust into the corner. Zayn quickly recovered, took down Breakker with a top rope elbow smash, very Bret Hart-like. Breakker got thrown over the top rope. Sami Zayn sized him up for an Arabian press, and he barely connected with it. He got him in the face with his knee. It looked like he grazed his face with it, but not the best Arabian press by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn then worked over Bron Breakker for a little bit, and he got leveled after a very high-speed Steiner line. They touted that he runs 22, 23 miles an hour off the ropes. I'm still trying to figure out how that's even fucking possible. Or is that, if that's just Michael Cole's Steiner mathematics coming into play. Bron Breakker followed it up with a belly-to-belly suplex, and he continues his attack on Sami Zayn in the corner. Breakker mocked Sami Zayn's "Ole, ole, ole" chant to the crowd. Zayn kicked out after another belly-to-belly suplex. Breakker just did push-ups, gloating, showing off next to Sami Zayn. Breakker then got beat with repeated elbows as Sami Zayn caught him with a DDT. That came off the top rope, springboard DDT. Only got a 2 count. Sami Zayn went back on the offensive, clotheslining Bron Breakker over the top rope. Now we're at ringside. Sami Zayn tried for a moonsault. Breakker caught him. Zayn pushed Breakker into the ring post to briefly create some separation between he and Bron Breakker. Zayn threw Breakker out of the ring and looked to have him set up for his Tornado DDT, the NXT spot that he usually does to dive through the turnbuckles. Breakker intercepted him with a fierce pounce on the outside and threw Zayn back into the ring. I don't know when the last time he actually hit that steel post DDT. Glides through the bottom rope, comes out on the other end, and DDTs his opponent. I don't know when the last time he actually successfully connected that move. Zayn countered the spear with a blue thunder bomb, kicked Bron Breakker in the face. Zayn avoided this devastating spear. Breakker in the blue thunder bomb kicks out. Breakker kicks out. He gets back up, flattened Zayn with a leaping clothesline. Breakker then grabbed Zayn for a gorilla press. He got countered into the exploder suplex. Zayn's haluva kick was intercepted with a vicious knee strike. Another gorilla press slam by Breakker. Zayn was in trouble as Bron Breakker was setting up for the spear, but he kicked Breakker in the head and brought this match to an end. After Breakker was dazed and confused in the corner, Zayn runs from the opposite end, hits the haluva kick, and pins Bron Breakker 1, 2, 3 clean in the middle of the ring to retain the Intercontinental Championship. For everybody saying that Bron Breakker is buried, you're a fucking idiot. Bron Breakker is the furthest thing from buried. You do not know what the word buried means. All the people, all the kids using the word buried on social media, you clearly are engagement farming. You have absolutely zero clue of anything pro wrestling. You should go find another genre or hobby to get involved with. Bron Breakker is the furthest thing from buried. In my honest opinion, I won't be surprised if Bron Breakker actually walks out the Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam. I should actually end up taking receipts on these fucking people. If he wins the IC title at SummerSlam, how the fuck is he buried here at Money in the Bank? He's not. He's so fucking young, and you see what WWE has done to protect him and build him up. He's one of the main aspects of Monday Night Raw. 2.5 months in, he's feuding with one of the biggest babyfaces in the fucking company for the second biggest prize. Some may actually say it's the biggest prize on Monday Night Raw. How exactly is he buried? I don't see anybody else that came up from NXT like Bron Breakker feuding with the Intercontinental Champion. Wouldn't that make Ilya Dragunov buried? Bron Breakker is not buried. Stop. This was his best match on the main roster to date. Period. Sami Zayn is incredible. Sami Zayn continues to go out there and show you exactly how great he is. Every time he gets in there, no matter who he is in the ring with, it could be someone like Bron Breakker, it could be someone like Gunther, it could be someone like fucking Chad Gable. You have seen Sami Zayn wrestle the biggest to the smallest and everybody in between. And look at the matches Sami Zayn consistently churns out week by week, month by month, year after year after year. When he gets in the ring with anybody, you can expect that anybody to probably have one of the best matches of the year for themselves. And when Bron Breakker looks back at his 2024, he's going to look at this match with Sami Zayn as being the one that opened up even more so WWE's management's eyes, because the kid can obviously work with anybody. If you could work with somebody like Sami Zayn and bring yourself to a great fucking match, you are a made man. That's why I don't really get the narrative of, oh, Bron Breakker's buried. What are you watching? I don't know what the fuck you're watching. What I watched is probably WWE's main roster rookie of the year wrestle one of the biggest baby faces in the company for the Intercontinental Championship that has been fucking resurrected by Gunther, bestowed to Sami Zayn, put on the best match of his year, Bron Breakker, as he hung with one of the best in-ring performers the company has. That's what the company is going to look back on when they want to reward Bron Breakker with the Intercontinental Championship. This will be on the front page of their notes as why. Why are we giving Bron Breakker the IC title? Well, this match with Sami Zayn was a fucking banger at Money in the Bank. Or maybe I just watch the product a lot different than most of you people watch. I don't know. Sami Zayn is fucking great. Bron Breakker is on his way to being great. He exudes coolness. Bron Breakker delivers that legitimacy that you rarely see in WWE. Only a select few people you get that feeling from. Bron Breakker's now one of them. Lesnar was one of them, right? Gunther, Dragunov. You get guys like that in the ring. Sheamus, McIntyre. You get guys like that in the ring, you know you're going to have a fucking fight. And Bron Breakker is wowing people every week. You hear the dog barks, even tonight in Toronto, where Sami Zayn is Canadian. People were still fucking barking at Bron Breakker. This was a great match. Sami Zayn was the right winner. Sami Zayn is now ready to lose the Intercontinental Championship. Bron Breakker is now ready to hold the Intercontinental Championship. We need more. There are other factors in play here for the IC title. Ludwig Kaiser should be back in a few weeks. Sheamus is eyeing the title. And Bron Breakker will probably get another shot at the IC title sooner rather than later. But what I'm thinking of for the IC title going into SummerSlam is Sheamus, Kaiser, and Bron Breakker. Fatal four-way for the IC title. That's where Breakker can win it. At that point, you don't need to beat Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn can go into that match, defend the title, and walk out without being pinned. Meanwhile, you can have Bron Breakker pin someone like Sheamus, pin someone like Kaiser, win the championship, build Bron Breakker's reign up, whoever you want to throw at him for the rest of the year, and build Sheamus up as a top contender for him to meet Breakker at WrestleMania, and that be the Intercontinental Championship match where Sheamus gets his WrestleMania moment and finally wins the championship, the only title he has not won in WWE, the Intercontinental Championship. Because a match like that and a moment like that should be saved for WrestleMania. I thought they did a great job here tonight. Great match. Bron Breakker looked great. Sami Zayn looked great. Right outcome. Got no complaints. No complaints whatsoever. John Cena. There was a rumor going around that John Cena was going to show up at Money in the Bank. Nobody really knew why. Maybe he was just there to bring a little bit more excitement to Toronto and the people attending Money in the Bank. Trish Stratus, she came out and asked everybody if they were having fun. She said she was once a mystery partner for someone. She then introduced a surprise appearance by John Cena. And John Cena was in attendance at Money in the Bank. John Cena stepped out with a towel that said, "The last time is now." I didn't really think much of it. I didn't. He made a sad face and then ran to the ring. He gets into the ring. He's got a microphone. Fans are excited to see him. He said, "Fans are there to make noise." He then said, "Well, why am I here then? Why am I here at Money in the Bank? Why am I here in Toronto?" Cena says he was there to officially announce his retirement from World Wrestling Entertainment. Crowd went into a frenzy of a mixture of no's and confusion and what and why and how. Nobody knew what was going on. John Cena officially retired from WWE, is what he said. Cena acknowledged the reaction being mixed and wondered why he chose to announce his retirement here. You probably have a lot of questions. Probably have a lot of questions as to why I'm here announcing my retirement. Why Toronto? Why tonight at Money in the Bank? He says that in 2 decades of being in the WWE, he's seen waves of prosperity and also times of tremendous hardship, where only the most dedicated fans stand by your side. He says that whether WWE was hot or cold, Canadians always showed up. Cena said that the farewell does not end tonight, as he's put over Raw's move to Netflix. He pledged to be there on opening night of Netflix when WWE moves to Netflix in January of 2025. He pledged to be at Raw on Netflix and also at the 2025 Royal Rumble, the 2025 Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania 41, where he said WrestleMania 41 will be his last match as an in-ring performer. Cena told fans that he'd kick off the press conference immediately after Money in the Bank was over to field any questions about his impending retirement. He wanted to thank fans for their support as they chanted, "Thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena." Looked like he was getting a little teary-eyed. Cena sincerely thanked the fans for their honesty and for allowing him to plan something unforgettable, and that they can start this in Toronto. If you want to come, or if you want some, he says, then hurry up and come get some, because the last time is now. As John Cena leaves the ring and walks up the ramp, and Michael Cole continued to say that John Cena is the greatest of all time and that he's happy he'll have at least 3 more matches of Cena's to call before he hangs it up. WrestleMania 41 will be his last match. That's exactly what he said. Don't tell me what I heard. I heard what I heard. WrestleMania 41 is his last match. He did not say he's going the full year of 2025. He did not say that. He did not say he's going all of 2025. I don't know where the fuck you heard that tonight. I heard that he is retiring at WrestleMania 41. Unless he said something on the post show. Obviously, I don't know because I'm here live and I'm not watching the post show. Cena says he's wrestling until December at the presser. He did. Oh, so he changed his mind. So from what we heard in the arena to the press conference, he changed his mind. Well, that makes things not as epic now. That makes things not as epic. And everything that I had written here basically is null and void. I don't... WrestleMania 41 is his last WrestleMania. Okay. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why one thing was said and then we get something completely different at the fucking press conference. 30 to 40 dates, he said. Okay. So there's no point in me going over what I was going to say, so let me reroute what we had planned here. So if John Cena's last match is not happening at WrestleMania 41, and we're going to get Cena all year, a list of opponents that I want John Cena in the ring with in 2025 is as follows. CM Punk, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther. I don't give a shit who else is on that list. As long as those four guys are on that list, then that's all I need. It's basically it. CM Punk, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther. Those are the only four names I care to see in anything regarding John Cena. Now, if John Cena's last match is at WrestleMania 41, it's got to be the biggest of them all. It's got to be the biggest of them all. John Cena announced he will be in the Royal Rumble. John Cena does not win the Royal Rumble. John Cena does not need to win the Royal Rumble. John Cena said he will be at the Elimination Chamber. John Cena could very well win the Elimination Chamber, and John Cena could get a championship match, because I know that's where everybody's thinking, or where everybody's mindset is. John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber and getting one last shot to go after number 17, which could very well happen. John Cena's ideal WrestleMania opponent for WrestleMania 41 is Gunther. That is the World Heavyweight Championship match that should be at the top of the list for WrestleMania. I'm assuming we get Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania. I do not think Punk gets a championship match at WrestleMania. I do not think we start booking Punk winning the Royal Rumble. I think we get Punk and Rollins. After what we got tonight, I think after he gets done with Drew, he goes right over to Seth Rollins, because that's not done, and they're going to pick up right where they left off, because that was supposed to be the WrestleMania match this year. I would have John Cena win the Elimination Chamber and go after number 17 against Gunther, ultimately to fall and fail. He does not need to win 17. We don't need John Cena winning the World Championship. Sting didn't win a championship like that in AEW. He won the Tag Team Championships. It wasn't a World Championship. He doesn't need number 17 to say, all right, man, I'm good. Let's get this retirement tour on the way. Gunther is the ideal opponent for WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes is not the ideal opponent for John Cena at WrestleMania, because Cody Rhodes will be wrestling The Rock at WrestleMania. That's your main event for WrestleMania. I could see Gunther and John Cena WrestleMania. I could see John Cena going into SummerSlam wrestling Randy Orton. At that point, maybe we get Randy Orton beating Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Maybe John Cena gets another shot at the World Championship. Maybe we get John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena versus CM Punk. Maybe we get John Cena and CM Punk at SummerSlam in the summer of Punk 25. But those are the only 4 names that I care to see John Cena in the ring with. Is John Cena the greatest of all time? He's not my greatest of all time. But I know what John Cena's value was to WWE. And when Roman Reigns was being jammed down our throats because the old administration didn't know what the fuck they needed to do with Roman Reigns, WWE had a very difficult time finding the successor for John Cena, to a point where I even came on here weekly and said, John Cena is still the face of WWE, even in semi-retirement. John Cena realizes that the WWE is a lot better off now than it was 5 years ago. The reason why John Cena is retiring is for 2 reasons. One, he doesn't want to eclipse 50 years old, and he doesn't want to get to an age where he's overstayed his welcome. He's always made that very, very apparent. And John Cena realizes that he needed to stick around because he felt like he could make a difference and make changes to the WWE that were needed. I don't think John Cena needs to stick with WWE anymore, and I realize, or he realizes, we realize that the company is in better hands now than it was maybe ever. And maybe John Cena isn't needed anymore. He doesn't need to come back and feel like he can help. He doesn't need to come on every single year and help out this talent and that talent and with this event and that show. He doesn't need to do that anymore. He realizes that his time has come. He's done everything he can do, and the current administration has plans in place to a point where they don't need to rely on people like John Cena anymore. They're building for the future. The future is in good hands with those that are running the company now. And he can finally focus on himself. Finally go out and ride off into the sunset the way that he wants to. It's not the greatest of all time, but John Cena, up until, I would say, 5 years ago, was still the face of the WWE. Then Roman Reigns all of a sudden came back. He was the tribal chief. He was the head of the table. He came back with Paul Heyman, and things slowly started to round that corner, and WWE had finally found their successor for John Cena. And they found Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns found himself, I should say. And they finally can move on from John Cena, because at that point they couldn't. I don't know what they got planned. I don't know what John wants to do. But I'll tell you what, man, when John Cena is not here anymore, there will never be another John Cena. You will never see another John Cena or anybody like John Cena. And John Cena is going to go into the annals of wrestling history as one of the guys that you will never, ever duplicate ever. And that is a very, very small list of people. His value to the company, it extends so far that I don't think people, the current fan, don't realize. They don't realize how imperative John Cena was to WWE business. If WWE did not land on John Cena, who knows where the company might be. He basically carried that company on its back. And without John Cena, it's a scary thought to think where WWE might actually be. He's that important to the company. So I didn't know that he said. I didn't know that he said he was going to extend past WrestleMania and he's going to ride out 2025. I was ready to prepare myself for life after John Cena and just say, you know what, WrestleMania is it. Now that opens up a whole new can of worms. If he's going to wrestle all 2025. Is he even in shape? Is he even in ring shape to wrestle in 2025? All of 2025, because what we've seen from John Cena, it hasn't really been all that great in the ring, man. Do you want to see John Cena all of 2025? I was ready to say goodbye at WrestleMania 41 when he said it on the show tonight. He certainly made it seem like that was it. I know I wasn't hearing shit. But John Cena's last year will be next year, and then he's retiring. He says he's got something special planned. Okay. I believe him. Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship. I was actually quite surprised this was coming on third. We got reports during the week that this match was slated to be the main event of the show. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match opened. We all figured that this would be the main event, and Drew McIntyre and CM Punk would be the last thing that we see as Money in the Bank goes off the air. WWE, I don't know if they actually confirmed that. I'm sure they did not. But WWE opted to do the six-man tag team match with Team Cody against the Bloodline in the main event. This went on after John Cena. This went on third as Damian Priest defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. The stipulations that Seth Rollins and Damian Priest agreed on. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. If Priest wins, Rollins can never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship ever again as long as Damian Priest is champion, which will not be past SummerSlam, so Seth Rollins will be free and clear to do whatever he wants with the World Heavyweight title. Rollins comes in, gets a big reaction, crowd loudly singing his song. They showed the decibel meter on the screen. After the ring introductions, the match got started. Rollins and Priest attempted early to hit their signature moves on one another, and neither got it done. Rollins' suplex was counted into a Falcon Arrow by Priest in a very early exchange here to start the match. Priest crushed Rollins with repeated splashes in the corner, got caught with a sling blade from Rollins on the third attempt. He got sent to the outside as Rollins looked to the entrance and called out Drew McIntyre to get it over with. This was a thing during the match. Damian Priest kept looking up the aisleway every time he looked at the aisleway about 3 or 4 times in the match to see if Drew McIntyre was going to come out with the briefcase. Now, I don't know why he did that. I know that was visually to tell the story that he's concerned. He knows. He's keeping an eye. McIntyre said he was going to win the briefcase and cash in tonight, so he's obviously nervous. He knows it's coming. But you'll know when it's coming because his music will hit. Maybe. Sling blade. Rollins hits a series of suicide dives, 3 of them on Priest that sent him over the announce table. He dodged a kick from Priest and took him down with a super kick. Priest stunned in the middle of the ring. Rollins launched himself with a springboard swanton and then a moonsault for a near fall. Now, I will say this about Rollins. Tell me if I'm not the only one that was looking at this match with Seth Rollins. Did Seth Rollins put on weight? Did he add muscle? Or was it because of the knee injury and the surgery that he wasn't able to work out the way that he wanted and he came back very Sheamus-like and now is in the process of getting himself the way he needs to look? I will say that it did nothing to harm his movement. He looked very good in there, and he moved very well in there for being out 2.5 months. He looked a little chunkier. That's all I'll say. So Priest goes over the announce table. Dodged a kick from Priest, took him down with a super kick. Priest stunned in the middle of the ring. After the moonsault and the swanton, Priest kicks out. He then gets up, he plants Rollins with a headlock driver. He goes for South of Heaven chokeslam, and then that got counted into a pin attempt. Rollins slammed Priest down with a power slam, follows up with a running knee. He goes to the top rope for a frog splash. He only gets a 2 count. Priest tried for another move off the top rope, or Rollins rather tried for another move off the top rope, but Priest hit him with a thrust to the throat, stunned him. Priest looked to hit a move off the top rope, but Rollins wiggled out. He gets him up in a buckle bomb instead, and he buckle bombs Priest in the corner. Priest responded with a sit-out power bomb. So Priest is up. He begins talking shit to Rollins as he slapped him in the face. This obviously fired up Rollins, and we get an exchange of shots here from one guy to the other. Priest got the better of Rollins with repeated spin kicks and looked to have him in South of Heaven. Rollins reversed the chokeslam and managed to land a very sloppy-looking stomp on Damian Priest. That got the closest near fall of the match. Rollins only gets a 2.5. Rollins yelled at Priest to stand up on his own 2 feet. Damian Priest struggled to get up. Priest recovered, planted Rollins with a razor's edge, and he gets a near fall. Rollins kicks out. Priest went to the top rope. Rollins stops him. Headbutt. Priest managed to get rid of Rollins briefly for a little bit. Not for long. Rollins got the superplex on Damian Priest, and he transitions into a Falcon Arrow combo. Now, he didn't hit the Falcon Arrow immediately. Superplex. He tried to get him up, couldn't get him up. Priest tried to block the suplex and countered the suplex. Rollins blocked that. He then gets him up, and the momentum of the counter took the Falcon Arrow over the way that it needed, and he planted Damian Priest with the Falcon Arrow. 1, 2, and the referee stops his count, and we don't see Damian Priest move a fucking muscle. Everybody in the arena was fucking confused. Rollins was confused. You were confused. I was confused. I'm like, what? What is going on here? Now, I don't know what was going on in all that transpired here. The first thing that I thought of was Damian Priest had to get knocked silly on one of those knee strikes in the counter to the Falcon Arrow. The first thing that I thought of. So Seth Rollins is looking at the referee like he's a fucking idiot. What? He didn't even kick out. He didn't move a fucking muscle. During the 3 count, the crowd lighting was dark. All of a sudden, the lights just come on behind Rollins. I see the lights come on out of nowhere. I'm like, why did the lights all of a sudden just come on? And then all of a sudden, like, it was a delayed reaction. Like 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Drew McIntyre's music plays, and he starts walking down the aisle with the fucking briefcase. I'm like, oh, that's probably what happened. So everything that transpired here, the superplex into the Falcon Arrow, the counter to the Falcon Arrow, back and forth where Rollins landed the Falcon Arrow, eventually got a 2.999999. It looked like to me that the sound guy fell asleep and forgot to hit Drew McIntyre's music because I believe the referee was supposed to be confused and thrown off his count by Drew McIntyre's theme music playing on the PA system, which, I mean, you could sit there and claim fucking stupid and illogical. It is. It really is. No matter what the fuck's going on or what you're hearing, nothing's going to stop you from making a 3 count. I don't give a fuck whose music's playing. I do believe that the miscue was a music miscue, and somebody forgot to hit Drew McIntyre's theme music because the theme music was supposed to surprise the referee and stop his 3 count. I don't know. Whatever it was, the botch looked terrible. And that's all anybody's talking about after what was a very good match between Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. And I feel bad for both of those guys because the crowd was like, what the fuck? What is this? This is fucking stupid. Everybody on social media making fun of it, making a meme out of it. That's all anybody's going to be talking about, and that sucks. And Damian Priest was visibly upset. So, McIntyre cashes in the briefcase. He's foaming at the mouth because Samantha Irvin's taking way too fucking long. I don't really know why we need such an over-the-top. Just hand the fucking briefcase to the referee. Have the referee say what's going on. The ring announcer's like, this is now a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Ring the fucking bell. Got Samantha Irvin out there fucking just going on and on and on. Drew McIntyre is cashing in his WWE 2024 Money in the Bank contract that he just won in the early part of the show, in the opening match. He's cashing in and making this a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Give me a fucking break, please. Are you fucking serious? If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm like, will you fucking shut up already? Ring the fucking bell. Now they make these guys look fucking stupid. Guy cashes in. He picks his opportune time. Both guys are out. Both guys are injured. They wrestle a 20-minute match. And Samantha Irvin's out there making a fucking 5-minute announcement, giving these guys all the oxygen that they need to get back into the fucking match. Just ring the fucking bell. Bell rings. McIntyre dropped Rollins with a future shock DDT. Sized him up for the Claymore. Damian Priest intercepted with a clothesline. He got taken out by a kick. McIntyre wanted to finish Priest off, but CM Punk ran in and attacked Drew McIntyre. All of a sudden, you start to hear the fucking roar of the crowd. I mean, the octaves of the crowd. Like, oh my God, what the no shit, CM Punk. Who is it going to be? Punk assaulted McIntyre at ringside with a steel chair. He threw McIntyre into the timekeeper's area, smashed the chair over his back repeatedly. Punk then looks at the world title. He picks up the world title and smashed McIntyre in the face with it. McIntyre tried to retreat from this beatdown of Punk. He rolls back into the ring. McIntyre is in the ring. Punk's on the apron. He smashes McIntyre with the belt. He's satisfied with what he did. He goes to sit cross-legged on the commentary table. Michael Cole's out there. Phil, what are you doing? Why? Why is this necessary, Phil? He's calling him by his real name. Priest got back up to his feet, hit South of Heaven on Drew McIntyre, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. So Drew McIntyre loses once again. This time, he gets fucked out of the Money in the Bank contract thanks to CM Punk. And Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight Championship. After the match, Rollins, he strolls on out to the outside where Punk is sitting cross-legged on the commentary table. Corey Graves gets up and interjects himself in this thing. He starts to calm down Seth Rollins and starts to push him back. Rollins is starting to yell at CM Punk, "You're in my business again. Told you to stay out of my fucking business." Now, this is another opportunity by Punk to get back at McIntyre that has cost Seth Rollins. So, at some point, these two guys are going to come to blows. As soon as McIntyre and Punk is over with, we're getting Punk and Rollins as the next major feud on Monday night. If Punk can stay healthy, they're going to pick up right where they left off. I thought the ending of the match was great. I thought the match itself was good. Very good. Damian Priest is shutting a lot of people up. I think he's wrestling right now probably the best he's ever wrestled. This is the best he's looked since Bad Bunny and the match in Puerto Rico. Damian Priest is showing you why he absolutely deserves to be the World Heavyweight Champion. I have no problem with Damian Priest being the World Champion. The only glaring thing in his game is his promo. That's it. Damian Priest is not a very good promo. His backstage segments are so much more superior than what he does in the ring. There's just something missing when he's actually out there in front of a live audience. I don't know what it is. Whenever he's in a live audience setting, it's off. The match was great. The botch is all anybody's going to talk about, and that was fucking terrible. And it sucks to be Rollins and Damian Priest because McIntyre's music was supposed to be played when it was supposed to be played, and things just didn't fall the way that they were supposed to. The post-match stuff with Punk, we all expected it. We all knew it. Don't be surprised. It was great. McIntyre and Punk will be one of your co-main events for SummerSlam. WWE teased Rollins and Punk at some point in the future. But McIntyre was never supposed to win the world title in Scotland. He was never supposed to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and successfully cash it in tonight. He was always going to win it and lose it. All for the long-term booking, the long-term story aspect of Punk and McIntyre. McIntyre was screwed out of WrestleMania. Held the WWE title for 5 minutes, thanks to CM Punk. He gets back in his home country, loses thanks to Punk, who was gifted a referee shirt, and then he quits the fucking company, only to attack Punk in Chicago. He steals his bracelet, the one with Larry and AJ, his wife's name on it. Punk shows up in Toronto in street clothes and costs McIntyre a third time. So not only did he screw him out of WrestleMania, not only did he screw him out of Scotland, he screwed him out of another WWE Championship match. This creates the trifecta. 3 strikes and you're out. Now we go to SummerSlam. Now we get the grudge match that's been building since January. And we get match 1 of 3 building between these two. Match 1 will be SummerSlam. Match 2 will be in Berlin. And then match 3 will be at Bad Blood inside Hell in a cell. Like I said in the beginning, everybody is looking for ways to dissect this and pick it apart and find something wrong with it. Meanwhile, WWE has strategically given you the best feud on Monday night, one of the best feuds in pro wrestling all year. And yes, some of it is predictable, but who gives a shit about the Money in the Bank briefcase? If WWE wanted any other person in that match, if WWE had any other option to be in that match, they would have been in there. Right now, the people that were in that match were the people that were supposed to be in that match. There are no other top contenders to be world champion. WWE gave you a bone with Drew McIntyre and put him in that match as the one guy that has won a world championship. WWE has plans for this to play out the way that it has been, and they use the briefcase to further the story. You can't give somebody the briefcase when the championship is going on somebody that is going to eclipse a full calendar year as champion. I don't understand how this is such a fucking foreign concept to everybody. So yes, this year, the briefcase was expendable. The briefcase was useless this year. For the next 365 days, it was a non-factor on television. So you might as well get rid of it now. Why are you upset about that? This is what I don't like about social media. Everybody wants to fucking engagement farm and fucking create this fake anger. And they want likes. All they're thinking is with their social media, how can I get the most likes? How can I pretend to be smart, but also at the same time come off like a fucking idiot? I just laid it out for you. And I don't understand why you guys can't think of that. That's why social media is poison. It's damaging everybody's capabilities to think. McIntyre and Punk is your direction. It doesn't need a championship. It never needed a fucking briefcase. McIntyre never needed a briefcase. LA Knight's not a world champion. Jey Uso's not a world champion. Andrade's not a world champion. Carmelo's not a world champion. And Chad Gable's not a world champion. McIntyre was the only guy to win that match legitimately. And the fact that Gunther is going to hold the title for an entire fucking year plus, there's no reason to give somebody a briefcase when that person is not going to win the world championship regardless. You might as well get rid of it now. Any more questions? Please. It's not that difficult. Anyway, moving on. Women's Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Naomi, Lyra, Valkyria, and Zoe Stark. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. There was only one right outcome in this match as well. And Tiffany Stratton is your Miss Money in the Bank. The way it needs to be. Chelsea Green got a big reaction from Toronto. Big reaction. She was the only other woman in this match that I thought had a chance to win the briefcase here. Io, they got plans to dissolve Damage Control. They need to be off of television. They need to be broken up as a group. Dead is Damage Control. Io needs to be on her own. Kyrie needs to be on her own. Dakota Kai needs to be on her own. Zoe, not winning any world championships, non-factor. Lyra, maybe. Mini Becky. Becky 2.0. She's got a bright future ahead of her. I like Lyra. Out of all the jokes and all the bird girl comments, she's going to be fine. Chelsea Green was the only other woman in this match that I actually gave any sort of chance to win. Naomi, not winning. Naomi has already fallen into a portion of the show where you know what she's there for and you know how she's going to be used. Not important. And it sucks because she's better than that. And then Tiffany Stratton, it's Tiffy time. You knew it was going to be Tiffy time. And Tiffy time may actually be in 4 weeks at SummerSlam. So Chelsea Green got a big reaction here. Match started with all the competitors, except for Green, leaving the ring to go try and grab ladders. Green finally got a ladder. She was left all alone in the middle of the ring, and she tried to jump up and grab the briefcase without a ladder. Gee, man, how do we make our superstars look like fucking idiots? Did anybody find that to be funny? Did any of you look at the TV and say, look at her, she's trying to get the ladder. Oh, she's trying to jump up without a ladder and get the briefcase. I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, man, do they really take us to be fucking stupid? Then she goes and grabs a ladder and she tries to knock the fucking briefcase off the hook with the ladder. I guess the story was that she was afraid of heights. You and me both, honey. Green finally got a ladder. She tried to climb up. She got a fear of heights. Chelsea took down Naomi and Stark with the ladder before Io launched herself with a kick to Chelsea Green. Io showed off her athleticism here, and she avoided Stratton's offense with a dodge, flipping out of the way. She drop-kicked Stratton into the ladder. She followed that up with her signature Meteor, double knees in the corner. Lyra sent Io Sky into the corner, and there was a propped-up ladder there, suplex onto the ladder. She then got a fisherman suplex on Sky right on another ladder. Zoe took out Lyra with a springboard missile dropkick, followed by a German suplex and a clothesline. Stark caught Valkyria's springboard and hit a nasty-looking Samoan drop onto the ladder. So these ladies are basically going into this thing not really giving a shit about their well-being, and they figured, you know what, let's shed some years off of our life in this match. It's exactly what it was. So Zoe looked to hit some sort of diving attack on Lyra. She did this springboard senton into the ring, and she hit the ladder with the back of her head coming down and hit none of the senton on Lyra. Naomi, she recovered and planted Zoe with a split-legged moonsault and a leg drop on the ladder. Stratton gets a big Alabama slam on Naomi, which got her loud Tiffy time chants from the crowd. She went to the top rope. She hit a beautiful swanton to everybody outside the ring. But I don't like these spots. You know, when someone like Tiffany or anybody goes up to the top rope and you see a bunch of people standing on the outside like a bunch of bowling pins, Tiffany is up on the top rope and she's making sure her footing is right, and she's trying to get up there, and she's taking her time, and all the people on the outside, they're just kind of looking up at her. I mean, could you pretend to throw punches at one another and be distracted by what you're doing to each other instead of just looking at Tiffany Stratton, waiting for her to jump on you? AEW has poisoned a lot of what you guys see on national television when it comes to pro wrestling. Very much an AEW thing. So she nailed a swanton to everybody and knocks everybody out. We get back in the ring. Chelsea sets up a bigger ladder in the ring, and she tried to climb it. Io stopped her, and I believe Tiffany got sandwiched between two ladders. So Io is trying to climb. Bird Girl stops her, Lyra, but Io managed to trap her in a tree of woe in the ladder. So Lyra is hanging upside down in the ladder. This wasn't enough to stop Lyra Valkyria as she grabbed Io and she pulled herself up like Drew McIntyre does with the tree of woe position with the suplex off the top rope. He usually does that, doesn't do it much anymore. She did this to Io and dropped Io on the back of her neck, pulling herself up in the tree of woe as she was stuck in the ladder. Zoe, she took out Valkyria with a kick to the face, and she fell right flat first on her face, coming off of the ladder. Stratton and Stark, they are going at it, and they are stopped by Naomi, who tried to scale a second ladder. She was stopped by Stratton and Stark with the ladder split. Naomi was legitimately doing a split. There was two ladders in the middle of the ring, and she was on both of the ladders with a full leg split, and she did a DDT from that position on Tiffany Stratton, which looked fucking great. Naomi took some tables from underneath the ring. She got thrown into the steel steps by Chelsea Green, who got help in setting up the tables by Tiffany Stratton in the ring. So there's two tables now propped up side by side. Io, Zoe, and Lyra were joined by Stratton as a ladder bridge was then set up. Zoe catapulted Stratton into one of the ladder bridges as Lyra came close to grabbing the briefcase. She actually had unhooked the hook. She opened the hook. Stark caught her and threw her right into the ladder bridge, back first. Naomi bounced Stark off the ladder and looked to climb up. Chelsea Green got in there, and fans were going crazy, man. They wanted Chelsea to win this. She sent Naomi face first with an unprettier onto the ladder bridge, which looked sloppy but effective enough. Stark climbed up as Io soon joined her at the top. The two fought each other as they were looking to battle for position on top, and she looked for a superplex, but Sky escaped and hit a Michi Noku driver on the ladder on Zoe. Chelsea looked like she was all alone. She was about to win the briefcase, but Stratton met her at the top, and conveniently, the person that she was setting the tables up with earlier on the outside was the person that sent her through the tables. She pushes Chelsea off of the ladder, and Chelsea goes crashing through both of the tables on the outside with a wicked bump. Kudos to Chelsea for taking that bump, man. Holy shit. Nobody left standing. Stratton climbs up, grabbed the briefcase, and she is now Tiffy in the bank. This shit got started and started rough. I'll tell you that right now. But as the match went on, no matter how many botches, no matter how crazy, no matter how much of a car crash it represented, this was probably the best women's ladder match, Money in the Bank ladder match that we've seen in the history of Money in the Bank since they started adding a ladder match for the women. I will say that right now, up front, no hesitation. It was so good. It was such a fucking car crash that I could not turn my head away from anything else. This was so great. And all six women absolutely killed themselves. And I appreciate what they did. Tiffany Stratton was the right winner. She's going to be the women's champion, potentially walking out of SummerSlam with the World Championship. She could cash in at SummerSlam. That's my prediction. Zoe's not a world champion. Lyra's not ready. Naomi is not there. Chelsea, she was only there because she's Canadian. And Io, she's right now got to deal with Damage Control and get that storyline finished and squared away. Tiffany Stratton was the only right choice here. Tiffany Stratton's one of the best women that they got in that division. She is the future of that division. I could see her being the world champion, and I could see WWE booking Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair going into WrestleMania next year. That is my long-term prediction. That's where I'm going with that. Great match, and all 6 ladies killed it. The right call for Tiffany to win. Backstage, Tiffany Stratton confronted Trish Stratus and said that Trishy time was no longer here and that it would be Tiffy time from now on. Stratus warned Stratton not to get too ahead of herself. 6-man tag team match. The Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu making his long-awaited WWE in-ring debut against Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. 6-man tag team match that I did not think was going to main event the show. They must have changed plans, and the main event was this 6-man tag team match over Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Everybody got their entrances. Bloodline came out to Solo's theme music. He's wearing the Ulafala around his neck. Kevin Owens got his ring entrance. Randy Orton got his ring entrance. Everybody sang along to Cody. Crowd was hot. Rhodes began for his team. Solo Sikoa stepped up on the Bloodline's behalf. Fans all night chanted, "Fuck you, Solo. Fuck you, Solo." Just to read the chat here. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. No, thank you. Could be. But I think I'm well past Trish Stratus after what we saw with her and Becky Lynch. Fans chanted, "Fuck you, Solo," loudly. So for all the people on social media still crying to me that Solo's still not over and that the crowd was deflated and the crowd was dead, when you start to get "fuck you, whoever" chants, you've made it as a heel. I don't know what you think that means, but what I think that means is that people are finally starting to buy in on how much of a prick Solo Sikoa is. Sikoa backed off, tagged in Tama Tonga. Rhodes and Tonga locked up, caught Tonga with a drop-down uppercut before Tama Tonga briefly gained momentum back for the Bloodline. Rhodes dropped Tama Tonga with a bulldog before he tags in Kevin Owens. Tonga, he got leveled in the corner with repeated stomps and punches by Owens. Toronto coming alive for another fellow Canadian. Rhodes back in for his team as he slammed Tonga with the suplex. Orton got tagged in. It was his turn to get some fun in on Tama Tonga. 10 punches in the corner. Tama Tonga caught Orton with a thumb to the eye, and he tagged in Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. If you guys don't know Jacob Fatu, I've called several Jacob Fatu matches at House of Glory. I know Jacob Fatu like the back of my hand. You are going to have your new favorite Samoan. Give it time. Give it time. I'm going to dead a narrative that I've seen on social media during this show because I have to unfortunately dwell on social media because this is my job. Heard a lot of people uttering, "Oh, I expected more from Jacob Fatu. I wanted more out of Jacob Fatu. I was disappointed with the lack of Jacob Fatu." So the scorecard tonight is I have to school you on Drew McIntyre and Punk and the reason why that is the way that it is. Got to mention why he won the Money in the Bank briefcase and why he didn't cash in successfully. Now I got to give you guys a lesson in Jacob Fatu. If WWE sent Jacob Fatu out there, I'm telling you right now, go watch anything that he's done on the indies on YouTube. It's very easy to look up. Go Google it. If WWE allowed Jacob Fatu to go into this match and do what he does 100%, you would not be talking about the Bloodline and you would not be talking about Solo Sikoa at the end of the night. Jacob Fatu had one role to play, and that was be the enforcer to the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu had one role to play. That is be menacing and destructive in nature. And he did it beautifully. If Jacob Fatu went in there and did everything you wanted him to do, nobody would be here talking about Solo Sikoa being the fucking tribal chief. Nobody. Any more questions? Man, oh man. I feel like I'm fucking a school teacher in high school with you guys. He's in. Fatu tried to run at Orton. He got sent to the outside, hit the draping hangman's DDT on Jacob Fatu. Fatu's down, selling it. Randy Orton turns his back, spins around, does the RKO setup. Jacob Fatu getting up. He's fucking looking at Randy Orton. Randy Orton's in the slither position, getting ready for the He looks up at Jacob Fatu. This guy's fucking snarling at Randy Orton. He no-sold the DDT. Good. Fatu quickly recovered while Orton tried to get hyped up for the RKO. He dropped Orton with a Samoan drop. Followed by a super kick. Fatu dragged Orton back to the corner. Solo tagged himself in. More fuck you Solo chants. Bloodline worked over Orton. They continued to isolate Orton with Tama Tonga tagged in. Orton stomped Tonga's momentum. And he is trying to get back to the babyface corner. He tags in Owens. Owens unleashes all over Tama Tonga once more. He got his cannonball and swanton combination. Owens' pinfall was broken up by Fatu, who dragged Tonga back to his corner so he could be tagged in. Fatu worked on Owens for a little bit before Solo Sikoa found himself back into the match. Owens struggled to make it back to the corner, failed to clear completely as Sikoa forced him back into the Bloodline corner. Tonga Loa got a cheap shot on Owens as the referee was distracted. I mean, there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match, right? There's no disqualifications. Solo Sikoa tagged Fatu back in, flattened Owens violently with a high-speed running hip strike. He just threw his whole body weight at fucking Kevin Owens. Owens' moment here, trying to get the hot tag, was stopped by Jacob Fatu. Sikoa took some cheap shots on Rhodes. He got sent over the top rope by Owens. Orton looked to be tagged in. Tanga Loa pulled Orton down while the referee was distracted by Fatu. Disaster kick by Rhodes on Sikoa, followed by the Cody cutter on Tama Tonga. Rhodes took out Tanga Loa with a suicide dive as Fatu attacked Cody. Fatu got sent over the timekeeper's area with a hip toss by Cody Rhodes. Solo caught Rhodes with a spear for a near fall. Two men met in the middle of the ring as Rhodes countered a Samoan drop with a pedigree attempt. Solo avoided this, and the referee got knocked down by accident. Rhodes floored Sikoa with the crossroads. Owens and Orton joined in with a swanton and RKO, respectively. They looked towards the commentary table, cleared it out. Solo was set up in a position for a Shield triple power bomb, but Fatu jumped in and took everybody out. Owens avoided a running splash from Fatu, which caused him to collide with the referee. Owens smashed Fatu with a Prime Hydration bottle that was sitting at the Prime Hydration station. Yes. And leapt from the barricade to take Fatu out with a frog splash through the announce table. Owens threw Tama Tonga into the ring and tried to set him up for the package piledriver. Tanga Loa rescued his brother with a low blow on Kevin Owens, but he got taken out with an RKO. Solo Sikoa hit the Samoan spike on Randy Orton. Rhodes caught Sikoa in position for the crossroads. Rhodes, triple crossroads attempt intercepted by Jacob Fatu, who planted the WWE Champion with a implant DDT. Samoan spike by Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa pins the WWE World Champion at the end of Money in the Bank. 1, 2, 3. It's a very good main event. I didn't really expect this to be the main event, but it was good enough. I figured they would put this on last and something was going to happen here, a return or surprise, maybe Jimmy Uso or something along those lines. We didn't get none of that. We got a clear-cut victory. Solo Sikoa pins Cody Rhodes, and he pins the WWE Champion on the way to SummerSlam. Now Solo Sikoa has every reason to ask for a WWE title match. Gee, I wonder who called that on Friday night. Told you this was going to happen, and look at how it played out. Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes will be your WWE Championship match at SummerSlam, and we will get the return of Roman Reigns. That's what this is setting up for. Other than that, I don't know why you're surprised about anything. It's a very good match. No Randy Orton heel turn. Everybody's still intact. Solo gets the big victory. Jacob Fatu looked like a monster. Tama Tonga held his own. And for all the people crying that Jacob Fatu should have did more, no, he did enough. He did what he was asked to do. When you get Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns one-on-one at WrestleMania, then you'll get the Jacob Fatu that you're asking for. You're not going to get it in his first match at Money in the Bank in a six-man tag team match when he's not the star of the show yet. Solo Sikoa is the tribal chief. He's wearing the Ulafala. He's the head of the table. He's the one who's basically asking, begging for Roman Reigns to come back, and that's exactly what he's going to get at SummerSlam. Money in the Bank delivered. I enjoyed the show. I had a good time. I thought this was a very good show. It sets up SummerSlam. And I know a lot of people are going to try and nitpick and bitch and moan and find things wrong with this and find things wrong with that. They did what they needed to do. You can't ask for anything more. Are sometimes the stories predictable? Sure. Can you predict where they're going to go 4 weeks out? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's bad. WWE slowly getting back to full strength, and we are headed towards one of the biggest SummerSlams, maybe of all time, in Cleveland. Thank you guys very much, man. Let's get to these super chats. I want to get out of here. Tired. It's been a long day. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes. Now, if we got 1,000 likes, we got 1,200 likes. Can we have 1,500 likes on the live stream tonight? Make sure you guys do that for me. Go check out all the other videos if you might have missed anything. Everything you need is on the homepage. And please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Let's get out of here, man. Let's start with Michael Krause. We had 3,800 people in here, man, on a Saturday night. Fightful could never. Good Saturday, JD and OTS family. Money in the Bank is here. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Andy Suppers with 8 months. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Captain Solo with 36 months. Sami Zayn beats Gunther and Bron Breakker. Like, what are we doing, bro? Exactly what we need to do, Captain Solo. See, this is another narrative I don't really understand. Love you, Solo. Thank you. But I have to explain this to you in the most simplest of ways. Sami Zayn just ended a 666-day title reign from one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Intercontinental Champions of all time. He is the greatest of all time. Why do you want his run to end after 90 days? Not really a good use of Sami Zayn beating Gunther if we're just going to take the belt off of him 90 days later. No, thank you. Matthew Urban with a $5.99. Change that Bron Breakker theme back ASAP. The new shit sucked. Changed Bron's entire it changed Bron's entire vibe and pulled me right out of the match. Def Rebel is trash. Yeah, I just started to get used to the old theme, and now I got to get used to this new shitty one. Michelle, $2 super chat. WrestleMania 41. Does Cena face Rock, Cody, or Orton? Cena does not face Rock. Rock faces Cody. Cody doesn't wrestle Cena because he's facing Rock. Randy Orton, I have no idea. That could be a potential at WrestleMania. I say Gunther. Why not? Who does Gunther got to wrestle? Gunther could wrestle Dragunov. I don't want to take that match away from anybody, but if we do Cena and Orton, I think that'll be a big enough match for WrestleMania. Terminator 7358 with a $5 super chat. Been waiting 15 years for this moment. Good riddance, Cena. Sorry, not sorry. Well, thank you for your $5, man. I don't agree with your opinion. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. I basically booked Drew McIntyre to look like a complete blithering idiot tonight. Solo, if you see it that way, that's on you, brother. Michelle with a $2 super chat. I can't wait for Raw when Drew goes nuclear. Should be a good one. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. This story between Drew and Punk reminds me of the wars between the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And Drew is the Coyote. Lauren Marie with a $2 super chat. $2 super chat. She says, no, we're not ready for John Cena's retirement. Drew got screwed again. He better win at SummerSlam. I do think that Drew wins at SummerSlam. Freebird with 23 months. Solid show, but the fact that WWE promoted the boys all night and Cody didn't come out looking like Homelander was a huge miss. But it's Tiffy in the bank. Yes. I don't know what the boys is. I've never watched one episode, but whatever, man. Michelle with a 5. As fun as the 6-man tag team match was, it should have not been the main event. Seth versus Priest should have closed the show. JD, you were spot on about this PLE. Thank you, Michelle. Lauren with a 2. Do you think WWE should be doing more on Orton's return? No. I think Orton is in the right position he wants to be in, he needs to be in. Craig with a 19 months. JD called it down to the T. That's what makes him the best of the IWC. I acknowledge you, JD, as our tribal chief. Thank you, Craig. Listen, man, it's just me talking to everybody like I'm sitting across from you at the bar, man. AS with a $4.99. I understand that the Punk-Drew feud is building, but I don't think he needed to drop the briefcase this early. Keep up the good work, JD. I explained it the best way that I could, AS. Hopefully you understand that. Vincent Tarantini with 26 months. Everyone bow to the greatest tribal chief of the IWC, motherfucking JD. Thank you, brother. Tony Brown with a $4.99. I certainly enjoyed all the delicious birthday cake in that women's Money in the Bank ladder match. There was a lot of meat in that match, Tony. More than any one of us could handle. Edward with a $1.99. Tonight was booked perfectly, in my opinion, botches aside. I agree. David, thank you for your $100 super chat earlier, brother. Appreciate you. Tribal Chief with 11 months. Damn, JD, everything you said would happen tonight happened. That's why you're the GOAT. OTS for life, pal. Keep it up. Thank you, brother. Not today, Jay, with 22 months. Happy 22 months, JD. John Cena has been a part of my childhood my entire life, and to hear him say he's retiring, it made me tear up. Save those tears, man. We got another year of John Cena. Mark out TJ with a $1.99. Cena to work up to 40 dates until retirement. Good for him. I hope he can stay healthy. Shane, 26, with a $31 super chat coming all the way to us from Australia, mate. Hey, JD, much love from Sydney, Australia. If you were booking Cena's final year of in-ring competition, how would you book the run? You know what, Shane? I'm not even going to entertain that thought, but I did give earlier in the show who I think Cena should be in the ring with. At least 4 of the names. Orton, Gunther, CM Punk, and who was the third? Who was the fourth one? It was Punk, Orton, Gunther, and Cody. Those 4. Robert Hurt with 40 months. JD, with John Cena doing a retirement tour, do you see him finally breaking Ric Flair's record of world titles? If Cena wants it, he'll get it. I don't think Cena wants it. Omega Kong with 29 months. I don't know why people are angry. He is what we call him, CM Punk. This is what Punk does. Just give me the Drew Punk Hell in a Cell match. I am ready. Yeah. I am ready. Israel with 31 months. It was a good PLE, and the GOAT John Cena is hanging it up. So if you are a fan, enjoy him while he is performing because he will be missed. He will be. Thank you, Israel. Cody, 26 months. Fuck around and find out, Drew. I'm betting Priest loves Punk. Roman is going to lullaby Solo's cosplay ass. Jacob Fatu look like a beast. Thank you, Cody, for 26 months. Dirty Hamster with 25 months. Cheers to the best in the IWC. Thanks for all you do, JD. OTS for life. Thank you, Dirty Hamster. Eric with a $20 super chat and no message. Thank you, brother. Ray, the awesome dude, with a 2. WWE, where the best wrestle. No tribalism, Ray. I will not have any of it. Little Willie with a $4.99. Also, do you think that they wasted a Money in the Bank on McIntyre? Because I don't think they did as they did to further the story. No. No, they didn't waste the Money in the Bank anywhere. Phantom with 11 months. I always enjoy Money in the Bank. I like the gimmick. We knew what was going to happen tonight. Show was a 7 out of 10 for me. Cheers, JD. That's a good rating. 7.5, I'd give it. Wrestling Russ with a 20. Correction. John Cena's last match is not WrestleMania, just his last WrestleMania. He is booked for 30 to 40 dates so far in 2025. 2025 is his last year. He specifically made that clear in the scrum. Well, that's not really the way it came off live, but I believe you guys, and I apologize for not knowing that because I'm live and I didn't know what happened at the scrum. Devil Jinx with the 5. Drew vs. Punk. Bad blood. Almost like a story is being told. Hope your weekend is going well, Mr. JD. Thank you, Devil Jinx. Yes. Bad blood. Hell in a Cell. Punk McIntyre 3. Book it. Hollywood Eric with 15 months. What's up, my tribal chief? Raising the 1 for you. I acknowledge you celebrating 15 months with you. Thank you. Was that the first Bad Blood live in person? Well, you were a part of history, my friend. And if you're attending the one coming up in October, you're going to be a part of history again. Eric, new membership. Thank you, brother. Ace King Hunter with the 199. AEW should take notes. WWE is on fire right now. KW, I don't know why both promotions can't do well at the same time. I don't. KW with a new membership. Thank you, KW. Lauren with a 2. Cena will be touring to the end of 2025. David with 2 months. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the shout out, JD, on the $100 bomb. Is it still a game time decision for you to review NXT Heatwave tomorrow, or will you not do one? Leaning towards no, David. Leaning towards no. But I will watch. A flock of morons with a $10 super chat. Drew needs to come out angry as shit on Raw. He's traveled to 2 different countries to screw me over. He's not even on the card. Who keeps paying for his airfare? He needs to go ballistic. I hope so. Ryan McCoy with a $4.99. Wish they did more with Andrade. The spots with the Spanish Fly plus the ladder powerbomb tells us he can do much more than what he's doing now. Billy with a $100 super chat. I'll give you my own round of applause, Billy. What's up, JD? It's great when we have stories in all of wrestling, like it should be. Just feel bad for Damian Priest. What the fuck happened tonight? You the man, JD. Keep up the great work. You deserve it. Thank you, Billy. Have a great weekend, brother. Jason with a $10 super chat. Prayers go out to Alex Giovanni. He's dealing with anxiety, depression, and the whole 9. He DM'd me earlier. Breaking news. 2 mid-card main roster women's championships are in the works via PWN. I hope to God not. Chris Barcinas with a 20. This Drew Punk feud is absolutely fire. And the best thing about it was all a happy accident. Ace King Hunter with a $4.99. OTS for life. Great show. Storyline continuation is best for business. Money in the Bank is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. However, I'm pleased with the results. It's a great show tonight, man. Can't complain about anything that happened tonight, honestly. Sue with a $15 super chat. You told everyone Friday what to expect from Money in the Bank, and people still complain. Don't they know to watch your show? I say listen, but I don't think they do. So drink up, JD. My armless Palmer liquid death is good. Ice cold. Sue, that is quite the beverage. And thank you. Adam JD 519. Some of you guys clearly do not understand wrestling logic and storytelling. Stop thinking with your hearts. People love Money in the Bank. Teach them, JD. OTS for life. Funny Rob Bebe with a new membership. Rob. Thank you, brother. Lamar with a $4.99. Greatest show. As usual, my guy. Thank you for the awesome breakdown on Bron versus Sami. You perfectly articulated what I've been saying all night. That's why we're the best in the business. Lamar. Thank you, brother. Aquarius Know-It-All with a $4.99. Cena should win Royal Rumble. Challenge for the title. Win it at Mania and vacate it on the Raw after WrestleMania. No. No, we're not doing no vacating of anything. Christopher Holloway with a $9.99. And then a $9.99. JD, I truly enjoy your work and you're an inspiration. I just received a kidney transplant today after a 5-year wait. No more dialysis for me. Keep being great, brother. OTS for life. You know what? I'm going to stop this song and I'm going to give my guy Chris good luck, Chris. Happy to hear it, brother. And thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate you being here tonight on the post show. Muhammad with a $2 super chat. So does Rock win the Royal Rumble? He wants to get back to WrestleMania. I don't know why he wouldn't be in the Royal Rumble. Aquarius with a $4.99. I disagree about Punk. He should get his WrestleMania moment. He never got a main event, a PLE, and win the title. Against who? Against who? Gunther? No. Funny Rob Baby with a $4.99. JD, I'm back where I belong in the OTS VIP section. Baby, PS, shout out my OTS OGs in the chat. Hashtag OTS fam. Hashtag OTS for life. Hashtag Baby fam. Aquarius with $1.99. I hope for a Cena Rock rubber match. It's tied 1-1. No. Rock and Cody is your main event for WrestleMania. Setsuka with a $4.99. IWC so fickle now. They hate everything Triple H is booking. Gotta let it play out. Thought this was a very good show. If you don't like long-term booking, then don't watch, because you'll get mad. Well, I mean, these people are the ones that enjoyed Marco Stunt on AEW Collision tonight. Lauren with a $7 super chat. Cena's opponents for 2025. Cena Gunther, Cena Orton, Cena Punk, Cena Rhodes, Cena McIntyre. Kind of feel bad for Drew, though. He should be the face. He should. Deontay McCombs with a 5. How much you want to bet they'll play the botch off as Judgment Day bribe the ref? You want to work around? There you go. Lauren with a 9 in super chat. Cena will definitely be in WWE in some capacity after retirement. He's definitely going to be in the 2026 Hall of Fame. Who should be the one to induct him? Maybe Randy Orton. Cena putting over talent since 2018. And AJ Lee will definitely return. Punk's been hinting. I mean, it's a layup for her to return during this McIntyre feud. I don't know why we wouldn't see her. Kekus Sicarius with a new membership. I hope I pronounced your name right, brother. Thank you for being here. Lauren with a $5 super chat. WWE should turn Orton heel. Face run has been wasted since his return. No win streak. Title soon? Been eyeing that WWE title lately. Yes, after Cody gets done with the Bloodline, Randy's going to strike. Moonman Ed with a $1.99. The show was mid, but a solid main event. I don't think it was mid at all. I think it was about a 7.5. Lauren with a $4 super chat. If I was Drew McIntyre, I wouldn't have re-signed, to be honest. Samantha Irvin is good, but Justin Roberts is the best. Drew McIntyre is getting paid handsomely, and Samantha Irvin is very good at her job, and she's not the best of all time. That is reserved for Howard Finkel. Amanda Nicole with a $4.99. Another example of why JD's my favorite. That Samantha Irvin bit. Laughing face emoji. Hey, Hooligram. Hi. Thank you, Amanda. Demeter Bullion. Trips. Is it okay if I call you Trips with a $7.99? Oh, boy. CM Junkie Monkey gonna cry when he and Trips have a live game of checkies, but Candice Michelle Runnin hits Trips with a tombstone, and CM does the cha-cha pumpkin emoji. I have no idea. Demeter Bullion. I don't know, brother. Lauren with a 2. They should just get rid of the whole Money in the Bank concept. They sold 20,000 tickets, Lauren. I don't think it's going anywhere. Indigo with 42 months. Hey, JD, much respect. 42 months. Wow, that's awesome. You and Jason are killing TNT. Another banger review, bro. You made me LOL about Samantha. Good PLE. Indigo, thank you for your support, brother. 42 months. Trey the Trillist with 15 months. Hey, JD, my fiance and I are huge fans, and we listen to you religiously. Now Damian Priest has won. What is going to happen with the Judgment Day? Finn Balor's probably going to end up kicking Priest out of the group. I just have a feeling. And thank you to you and your fiance, Trey. Love it when the couples watch this crazy son of a bitch live. I'm not everybody's favorite, but it takes a little bit longer for the ladies to get on board with what I'm doing. So I appreciate it when they do. Lauren with a 2. So Cena will be on Raw and PLEs, no SmackDown. I'm assuming he will be on Raw, yes. Maddie C with a 199. Not much, but wanted to show some love to my favorite. Thank you, Maddie. Lauren with a 2. Can't wait for SummerSlam. Have a safe weekend. And Cena and Orton will be a great Mania match. I'm sure they'll tell a great story for sure. Don De Niro with a 499. Let's bring back 3 stages of hell for Punk and McIntyre. I think Hell in the Cell will be enough. Advocate with a 1 month. I figured it out. Jericho's "Hi guys" is him imitating Denise. You were spot on with your predictions. Acknowledge JD IWC. Hi guys. I'm going to throw this visual out at you, man. I think Lyra looks too much like Denise, and I might not be a fan of Lyra anymore. Why reality sucks with a $10 super chat. How miserable do you have to be to get robbed at Mania, lose again in your country, and then fail to cash in Money in the Bank? By the way, I've been watching Cena since his debut. I will miss him. Everybody's going to miss him. Drew McIntyre loves what's going on right now, man. He's in the hottest feud in pro wrestling. Don't get it twisted. Mr. Team Bringer with a 199. Tried Ric Flair's Woo Energy, and it tastes like shit. Don't buy into mass-produced garbage promoted by a 78-year-old pro wrestler, man. They don't give a shit about you. Ryan Fairburn with a $5 super chat. Cena will be at Raw next year, apparently. Seeing the IC title is on Raw, does it make sense to do the open challenge thing? Take that rather than 17. No. It's either 17 or nothing. Thomas with 11 months. Adam Pearce was shoved by McIntyre at the post show. Seth yelling at Punk after the match was great stuff. You do awesome work, JD. OTS for life. Thank you, Thomas. Also, he says, would you personally book Seth to face CM Punk or McIntyre to face CM Punk first? McIntyre and Punk is happening at SummerSlam. Joey with 31 months. Now that Cena will be calling it a career, who would be a good final opponent for him? Punk, a younger wrestler for the next generation? Great show, JD. Being that his last match is not happening until next December, I think we'll wait on that, Joey. I think I gave a solid 4 top guys that I'd like to see him in the ring against. And Mr. Team Bring It with a 199. Which rivalry was better, Cena versus Punk or Orton or Edge? Cena Punk is probably his greatest feud ever. I'm going to throw a name on that list as well that you forgot. Umaga. Very underrated and not appreciated enough. Guys, thank you. Thank you for all your support. We killed it. 3,800 people live on the Money in the Bank post show tonight, right here on OTS. The Mustang is revving up. I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you guys for a great stream. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. And hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all the notifications. Next time you see me, we'll be live back here on Monday night for the Fallout show for tonight's Money in the Bank on Monday Night Raw. Guys, thank you for everything. Appreciate you. Next time you see me live is on Monday right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.